The Handmaid's Tale is a dystopian series about a woman living under a totalitarian regime, where the fertile women are stripped of their freedom to become surrogates for their leaders. In order to deliver these heavy themes, Julia later suggests in her article, Hook and Eye, that The Handmaid's Tale uses aesthetically pleasing visuals to capture the viewer's attention and draw them into this world of violent oppression. One way that the series communicates the effects of this bleak reality is through Elizabeth Moss's performance. In this clip, we get many close-up shots of the protagonist, where Offred's subtlest facial expressions are on display for the audience to observe.
Neil?
Moss delivers a restrained but emotional performance, where she must maintain her sanity while in the presence of authority.
Morning, girl.
According to Later, the shallow focus close-up shot, where the background is blurry and distorted, emphasizes Offred's isolation and helps the viewers identify with her perspective by giving a dizzy and off-balance feeling, thus mirroring Offred's emotions as she quietly struggles to compose and maintain her sense of self. Furthermore, the shots of other characters also communicate their position in the show. Aunt Lydia is often shown in a medium shot and at a lower angle. This is less intimate than a close-up shot, making the viewers less sympathetic to her emotions as she is shot from more of a distance.
As you know, the penalty for rape is death. This disgusting
The slight low angle shows Aunt Lydia as an intimidating and dominant figure of authority as she enforces the government's rules. The shots help indicate the characters' identities, and later highlights that the lack of makeup contributes to this. These often unflattering shots oppose what audiences are used to seeing for female leads in conventional media. It adds to their level of vulnerability, allowing viewers to intimately identify with the characters' emotions by observing their exposed, bare faces. These elements thus far have all helped demonstrate how bleak this world is.
The handmaid. She was pregnant. And the baby died. Quiet, please. Now, girls, up.
We have just found out that a handmaid has lost her baby as a result of being raped, and the handmaids will beat the man to death as punishment. The show anticipates the violence that will soon occur through the use of sound.
You may come forward and form a circle.
The soundtrack is haunting, eerie, and tense, and Aunt Lydia's off-screen voice is echoing and muffled in the distance.
You all know the rules for our participation. When I blow the whistle,
Additionally, the camera pans across the handmaids, whose performances appear angry and resentful as they prepare for the execution. The scene builds tension as we get shots from several angles of the handmaids swarming in towards the man. As the participation begins, the sinister soundtrack shifts to these angelic, harmonizing vocals. The sun beams over the handmaids as they beat him to death, lens flares appear on the screen, and there are many shots in slow motion. These elements are heavenly and euphoric, as the girls are offered a rare moment of freedom where Aunt Lydia has allowed them to do whatever they want with the rapist. The close-up shots of Warren smiling and twirling around emphasizes this feeling. It is a brief outlet for them to release their pent-up anger, sadness, and frustration, as well as a reminder of what power feels like. This moment is heavenly, but is juxtaposed with the loud sounds of the handmaids yelling and the bloody shots of them executing the rapist. This contrast perfectly demonstrates Later's main idea that The Handmaid's Tale uses beautiful images to force viewers to witness the true horrors of this world. It is important to note that the beauty does not exist because of the regime, but despite it. The show does not attempt to use these alluring images to cover up or hide the brutality. Instead, it is used to expose it.
Alfred, are you alright?
At the end of this segment, we see how these events have impacted our characters.
How am I sick?
Offred appears traumatized, and Ovwarren seems unfazed after the events that have just taken place. For her, the violence has been normalized as she casually wishes Offred to have a nice day, and we end this segment on a shot of the rapist's dead body. The contrast between Ovwarren's upbeat goodbye and the image of the dead body also parallels Leda's main idea. In summary, The Handmaid's Tale delivers the trauma experienced by the handmaids through close-up shots of the characters that highlights their performances, and the lack of makeup contributes to the show's verisimilitude. The show does not shy away from exposing the heinous events and effects of the regime. They force us to witness these events by hooking viewers in with their aesthetic presentation and close-ups that emphasize Offred's experiences.